Hi, I'm Dr. Goldie, your board certified anesthesiologist and real estate coach. I help hardworking professionals such as yourself find, fix, and finance the house of their dreams through my educational series, books, and coaching. So today I'm going to be talking about 15 tips and tricks to having a successful garage sale. So first of all, I want to start off by saying thank you for joining me today. And I'm going to be going over 15 tips and tricks to help you have a successful garage sale. I had a garage sale this summer and I learned so much. I watched tons of YouTube videos and I figured that, YouTube has been so helpful to me in so many different areas of my life. I figure I'll give back and give my take on helpful tips and tricks to having a successful garage sale. So let's get started. All right, so number one, you need to decide why you're having this garage sale. Are you having this garage sale to make money, or are you having this garage sale to get rid of stuff? Now, granted, you will be doing both things by having a garage sale, but you need to have a primary focus. So if your primary focus is to make money, then I would suggest that anything over $20, you also list it online, because people who go to garage sales really want a bargain and don't want to spend a lot of money. So you may have a hard time selling bigger ticket items, but that being said, it's not impossible. So you do want to have multiple outlets that your higher ticket items are on. But if you are just trying to get rid of stuff, a garage sale is a great way to do that. And so I will be talking about those sorts of tips. So number one, figure out if you are mostly trying to get rid of stuff or you're mostly trying to make money. Okay, so number two, start early in the day. So if you're not a morning person, just start as early as possible. I like to sleep in on the weekend, so I started my garage sale at 9 a.m., which is actually kind of late, but believe it or not, people will show up early. So even though I said 9 a.m., people start to trickle in around 8:30. These people are ready to make a deal, ready to buy stuff, so definitely don't turn them away. Early birds are serious shoppers, so just keep that in mind when you start your time. Number three, these things, stickers that have prices on them. You can pick these up at the 99-cent store or Dollar Tree. They are so helpful. Say you have 100 different items that you're selling. Who wants to sit down and label every single thing? Well, these stickers are really super easy. You just put the price that you want on there and people can see it. There's even a make an offer sticker. So it ranges from $20 all the way down to 25 cents and then even make an offer. So I definitely suggest that you use these stickers. Tip number 4. So make sure you advertise on free websites. Take advantage of those free websites. So websites like Penny Saver, Craigslist, Nextdoor, those are all free websites that you can advertise your garage sale. Number 5, make sure that you have large signs with large writing. Make sure the background is light and the lettering is dark. Now remember, people are going to be zooming by at 20, 30, 40, 50 miles an hour. You want to make sure that they can see your sign and find where your garage sale is located. Tip number 5, make sure you have change available. People are going to probably need change. So make sure that you have dollar bills readily available. And then also, say if someone gives you a larger bill like a 20, don't be shy to ask them if they have smaller bills. Oftentimes they're just looking for change, but they may have a smaller bill and they'll give you that one instead. Tip number 7. Know the things that sell well. You may be surprised. So I'm going to tell you from my personal experience, these are the following things that sell really, really well at garage sales. So number 1 may actually surprise you a little bit, but perfume. Perfumes sell really, really well at garage sale. I'm talking about half-used perfumes. I'm talking about perfume samples. Me personally, I love Sephora, and every time I make an order from Sephora, they give me a free perfume sample. Now, believe it or not, I've accumulated many, many perfume samples over the years. I'm really picky about my fragrances that I like to use. So I had all these perfume samples that were just collecting dust, and I had a lady come in who pretty much wanted to buy every single perfume sample I had. So I listed my perfume samples for about anywhere from 25 cents to 50 cents each, depending on the maker and how high-end the perfume was, and she bought every single one of them. And so just know, don't throw away your perfume samples. Keep them because you can sell them at a garage sale. So the other things that sell really well at garage sales are perfumes, body sprays, lotions, and makeup. believe it or not, makeup sells really well. Even used makeup sells really well at garage sales. Also, books sell really well. Apparently, people make whole livings off of Amazon by selling used books. So books sell super well. Also, records, DVDs, electronics, they all sell really well at garage sales. If you're selling any electronics at all, make sure that you have an extension cord available, and that way the person can make sure that the electronic actually works. Tip number 8, when you are picking things to go into your garage sale, go over them at least twice. So if you're thinking about having a garage sale, don't just have one next week and rush it. Make sure that you go through all the stuff that you have, put things aside that you want to sell at the garage sale, and then a week later or 2 weeks later, go back through all your stuff and put more things aside. You will be surprised how much you're willing to part with stuff after you really kind of sleep on it and think about it. So make sure that you go through your stuff more than once before you decide to sell it. Tip number 9, start collecting small boxes and plastic bags now. As soon as you realize that you want to have a garage sale, make sure you start collecting those things, because you're going to need tons of small boxes and plastic bags. That's helpful for when people are shopping and looking around so they don't have a lot of things in their hand. And then also when they buy things, it's easy for them to carry it off. So it just makes the shopping experience easier. Tip number 10, have some music playing in the background. It helps to create a nice ambiance, and people want to stick around longer, which means they want to shop longer, which increases the chance that they're going to buy something. So definitely have some nice music playing in the background. Tip number 11, make sure that you sit in a shaded area. After some time, it does get really hot outside, and so make sure you put your sunblock on also, but make sure you're in a nice, comfortable, shaded area when you're having your garage sale, because people are going to be looking and you want to give them space and all that, so just make sure you're also in a comfortable spot. Tip number 12. Make sure there's only one person handling the money. The garage sale that I had, we had 3 different people involved: my husband, myself, and my brother. And even though there's 3 people involved, make sure that there's only one person who's handling the money. It just makes it a lot easier to keep track of things, and easier to make sure that the right people got the right amount of change. A fanny pack is really helpful in keeping track of your money. You can use one pocket for the change and then another pocket to put the proceeds from what you've sold. Tip number 13, this is for garage sales that have multiple people. I would suggest that one person who collects the money, they also have a sheet of paper and they write down whose items sold and for how much. That's a great way to keep track real time on how much each person made. Tip number 14. Be open to bargaining. No matter what you price your stuff at, people are going to want to bargain. So I'll give you an example. I had a bunch of clothes. Most of them were not name brand. And so the non-name brand clothes, I was originally going to list them for $1, but I figured that people are going to want to bargain and they enjoy that feeling of bargaining. So I listed my clothes for $2. Well, guess what? Most people did buy it for $2, but there were some people who bargained me down to $1. And so just to let you know, people will always bargain no matter what the price is. So it's okay to price your items slightly higher and then ask them if they're willing to bargain. And the 15th and final tip is that you should know that when you have a garage sale, if you are having it on Saturday and on Sunday, you will have different types of buyers. The buyers that come in on Saturday are people who are hunting and looking for something very specific. So when you see those people, you can ask them, are you looking for anything in particular? A lot of times they are, and they will show up early and they are ready to bargain. That's the Saturday shopper. Sunday shoppers tend to be more leisure. They come after church or after they do an activity, and they just want to browse around, and they're just curious to see what people have. It's more of a recreation to them. So they like to browse around. So just keep that in mind. And I'll tell you a really interesting story. So on Sunday, I was so exhausted, and let me tell you, garage selling is exhausting. So I was ready to pack up all my stuff, and one of the things that I had was a basket of self-care items. So I had all these sheet masks and lotion, face lotions, and little trial size things. For example, Sephora, whenever you buy something online, they always send you trial size of things. Well, a lot of times I didn't use it. And so I kept it and I put that in the basket to sell. So this lady at the very last moment came in a Range Rover, just blocked my driveway and was like super excited, jumped out her car with her husband and was like, oh my gosh, I love garage sales. What do you have available? So she was browsing all around and she saw the basket of self-care items. So she was super excited to see that because apparently she makes self-care baskets for women in shelters, and so she likes to put together care packages for them. So she was super excited that it had all these different variety of things that were brand new that she could use in her self-care packages. And so she just said, hey, I'll buy this entire basket, including the basket itself. I'll buy that. And we negotiated price and both of us were happy. I got rid of a whole basket full of things and she was able to find a good deal on self-care items. So just to let you know that there are people out there that want your stuff. The stuff that you don't want anymore, they want it. There's a whole cohort of people who love to garage sale. So if you have things that you're wanting to get rid of, a garage sale is a great way to do that and earn some extra cash. So I hope that this was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions or you have additional tips and tricks, leave them down below and subscribe. I'm on all different social medias at Dr. Goldie MD. That's DrGoldie MD. Check me out on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll see you next time.